I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas.
Hello everyone, Uncle Charles Walhingford back again with another video, and I wanted to tell you a little story, probably a long story now because I went over it and wrote it and I was going over it in my head what I wanted to say to you guys. This story is about how I met my wife, how I met my Dominican foreign-born wife. It's a common thing to hear people talk about getting rid of or letting go or not giving the women from the United States and other Western countries the time of day. I came to that realization years ago. Matter of fact, I just celebrated my 23rd anniversary a couple, almost 10 days ago. Not a full 2 weeks. And I made a very good decision, and I wanted to talk to you about how I made that decision. And I want to show you a short clip of a video I saw on YouTube. I was just watching this video for the sake because I like to travel. But this young man, I wouldn't call him a passport bro, but he's still doing the visiting other countries type thing and seeing other places because he's not American or he's not European. I know he's European, but he's not American. I don't know if he's on that passport bro trajectory or what have you. But I saw something that jumped out at me, and it made me want to watch this video. So here's the clip right now.
Cooled and chilled. And me and my friend Marcelis, we're gonna have some food, some fish. A ver, prueba. Pica, no? Guys, that's the fish. It's very spicy, said. Rico, no? Rico means delicioso. No, rico. ¿Quieres? Mierda. Sí. ¿Qué, guys? ¿Crees que eso es pescado fresco? Sí, pica. ¿En serio?
I want you to know that most likely that young man probably isn't going to settle down with that woman. That's not his soon-to-be wife. But I would tell you guys, that should be. Certain things tell me about a person. You can judge a book by its cover. I've done a couple videos about judging a book by its cover. That doesn't happen. And first and foremost, you know, that's not going to be done by an American, especially brown-skinned woman in the United States. Nope. Women aren't. A woman feeding you anything directly like that is sadly rare. It's part of the reason why I left American women alone, period. I made an absolute effort to disregard and not talk to, leave American-born women completely alone. When I was a junior in college, I'm like, oh no, it's over. It's over. I was getting to that point, but I knew, oh no, this is not going to work for me. So let's go ahead and tell you about how I got to this point. So this point came from, first of all, I never sought out, or I wasn't like, say, who hurt you type deal. But I figured out really quickly that, again, this is 20 years ago, that the women from the United States isn't the way I was going to go because I knew they didn't want what I was trying to give them. And now that I think about it, I'm going to add to what I have written. I forgot all about this that I wanted to tell you about. My mother introduced me to a young lady, very, very pretty young lady. She reminded me of Erykah Badu without the eyes. Erykah Badu's eyes are just, but she reminded me of Erykah Badu, very much so. Like the way she talked, the way she dressed, the way she presented herself. And man, I was really taken by her. And here's the thing, she was taken by me. So my mom introduced me to her. We exchanged numbers and we talked. We did things that nobody this day and age does. We talked and talked and talked and talked. This is continuous. We talked for about a good, I would say at least 7 hours straight. We just got to know each other over the phone. Yeah, I know that's really weird because we were over the phone talking. We talked all night long till the morning. We hit it off. Then she called me later on the next day after we had been sleeping. She said, I don't want to talk to you ever again. Was it something I said? Was it something I did wrong? I mean, what's going on? She said, if I get with you, I won't be able to think about anything else, and I won't be able to go after my career. I won't be able to think about all the things that I need to do for me. So she threw away somebody who she would love to death and probably would love her to death. She didn't give it a chance. But I guess because we hit it off so well, she was like, there's no way that I'm not going to like this guy, love this guy, and everything else. So she threw that away, and I knew. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm definitely, at that point, I knew, no, I don't want any woman from the United States at all. Now, was I hurt? No, but I realized that so many women think like her very early. So many women were willing to give up a good thing, somebody who they clicked with, because they wanted their career to hit to go un uh, without a hitch, go on without a hitch, because I would slow her down because she would love me too much. Wow. So anyway, that was my junior year in summer. I believe it was the summer in between my junior year when I had that situation. So back it up a little bit. Again, I had no intention. Like a lot of people think, like, oh, you probably have a white wife, or you got a wife because like all of the rest of them say she's not that smart, or she's from a third world country, so she doesn't know any better, and you're taking advantage of, and everything else. Far from that, because a lot of people who never didn't know that my wife's from the Dominican Republic automatically thinks I have a white wife. But that's a whole nother category in its own, or conversation. But anyway, so when I was in high school, I had my first love. My first love, what again? She was, and I'm going to say the word so-called because I hate the term black. I had a so-called black woman, but of course, what makes me say that so-called because she was as bright as a light-skinned person can be, with tons of Anglo-Saxon features. But that's not why I loved her. I loved her because we clicked. We had fun. We loved being around each other. We loved talking to each other, and we were on very similar wavelength. But because of college, being separated, we went to two different colleges. I was a year older than her. It just wasn't going to work out, and it didn't work out. So I'm always the kind of person, I always like relationships. I always wanted to be in a relationship. I like having sex, of course, but I would like being in a relationship. So I had quite a few girlfriends. Like that was my girlfriend, and I had a girlfriend in college, in my freshman year, after my long time first love girlfriend. She was from the South. Now being from the South is one thing where you are on the map, and also where you are culturally. Culturally, she's from the South. She was from a unrefined country. She was an unrefined country girl. And that's more so of her admission, because part of the reason why she liked me so much is because I was from the big city. Like, she, even to the point, she called me Charlie Boy. That was her name for me. Her name for me was Charlie Boy, or Charlie Boy. Charlie Boy. And she was great, but the funny thing is, she was so enamored with who I was, not just what I was, but who I was, by being from the big city. She used to steal my clothes and wear my clothes. However, she would put them back, but when she put them back, she would either iron them and fold them, or iron them and hang them up. Guys, what kind of American woman is that? This is the college dorms where she's doing this. I'm in the college dorms. So this is not, my apartment. But she would steal from me, put them back, wear them, put them back. But the thing is, I didn't know. I'm not paying attention. Till one day, I come in my room, go in my drawer, and all my clothes are folded, organized. And I thought, holy shit, who the fuck is coming in my room? Who's coming in my dorms, stealing my stuff? But at the same time, like, side note, who's taking my stuff and then folding it back? But I was like, what the hell's going on? So I said something to my girlfriend, like, hey, is somebody coming in our room behind us? Because this is not how my room was set up before I left. And she looked at me like, that was me. I've been taking your clothes, and then when I put them back, I'm folding them up or hanging them up. I said, I was like, this is different and this is nice. I'm not going back. So first thing, before I made an effort to never talk to another American girl, before that, it was I didn't want to deal with any girl that was from the North. And so I eventually moved. We had multiple campuses in my school. So I went to the main campus later in Providence, Rhode Island. I was in Virginia before. In Providence, Rhode Island, of course, there's not many country girls from the South. So what do I have left? Sorry, guys, I think my camera was getting hot, so I had to move it. That's why it's a different angle. So what I was saying is, going to Providence, Rhode Island, that's where I was at. There's not a lot of Southern country girls around there, of course. But what they did have, a lot of international students. And so talking to the international students, I befriended them and hung around them. I was like, ooh, I like these women a lot too. I was still talking to other women and everything else. But far as like a real relationship, I didn't have another girlfriend that was American since that girl from southwestern Virginia. And I couldn't do it. So let's fast forward all the way to my third to last girlfriend was a Dominican woman she was born, raised, she was from St. Thomas, but she was born in Dominican Republic. I don't know how long, but she had a thick accent, a thick accent where sometimes I barely could understand her. But she was fantastic. Fantastic. I have a story about her, probably one of the happiest moments of my life as a total situation, and she's included in it. But she cooked for me. But the girlfriend before her, she cooked for me too. Just couldn't cook well. She couldn't cook well at all. I don't want to make this story too long, but she couldn't cook that well, but she did. She wanted to cook for me, and I couldn't let that go, that she wanted to do that for me. But anyway, that Dominican girl was fantastic. And it makes me think about what I said earlier in the video. That young man probably isn't going to stay with that woman because he's young and stupid. What I want you guys to do is not be young and stupid. I'm not going to say that I would have gotten a divorce or I would have not have a wonderful relationship with her and it would have been better than what I have now with my wife currently. But what I will say is that I probably shouldn't have broken up with her for the reasons that I did. I broke up with her because she was on the, when you think about the scale of being materialistic, if materialistic, her scale was 1 to 10, she was a 1. Wasn't materialistic at all. That's a problem. That's actually a problem. You don't want somebody on the scale of being materialistic. You want them to be maybe a 4. That's perfect. They want to look good. They want to have quality. They have some aspirations and stuff like that. No. This young lady, you know how people today, young ladies today will put tons and tons of makeup on. They would do all kinds of things to their hair, or put hair in their head to look better. They will not look like the person that they are when they go to sleep or out of the shower. Now, my girlfriend at the time, this young lady, she was the opposite to a fault. She was the opposite to a fault. She looked like you know what she looked like? She looked like a rundown, beat up, just destroyed woman who has too many kids. Like she has 7 or 8 kids and it's killing her. That's the way she dressed. And she didn't have any kids. She dressed like that and didn't have any kids. And so what I'm saying to you is, you got to realize what you have in front of you. I didn't realize what I had in front of me. And I think you can, especially at this age, you can think, okay, I can get over that. I couldn't get over that because it bothered me as a young man that I had the baddest woman in the room, possibly the baddest woman around, maybe even in the state. She was an absolute 10 naked. She was an absolute 10 naked. She looked like Sofia Vergara, but a little bit darker. No exaggeration. Think about Sofia Vergara. Yes, she looked like that. Naked, not with clothes on. It's probably why I had her. And that's why you have to look at what you have. If she looked or reflected or cared about the way she looked a little bit more, maybe I wouldn't have a chance with her. I wouldn't have had a chance with her. Maybe. I was pretty good with the ladies back in the day, so maybe. Anyway, fast forward to my wife, and my wife, much like that young lady who was feeding that gentleman, that young man, food, my wife would do things like that all the time. That was her. That's not weird, not unusual. And one of the things that I knew what I did at a young age, I knew what I did was a mistake by not liking that my previous girlfriend was a terrible dresser. And I understood, like, does that really matter? What's the bottom line? And my wife, though was a better dresser, but not that much better. But my wife had so many very good attributes, and feeding me like that wasn't weird. That wasn't unusual. That happened. But one of the things that really put me over was her thing was, yeah, I know we're on dates. I know we're dating. I know we're together. A man is supposed to take care of most of the expenses, but we are both young people right out of college. Why, or we were in college also, that age, because I met her in college and we stayed together ever since. She understood, like, how the hell do you have that much more money than I have? How can you pay for all these things regularly, often, and all the time? And she would not let me pay for everything all the time. Even if I say, okay, I understand, because you know how the game works. Offer, and then I tell you no, I got it. No, she would offer, like, no, next time I'm paying. But here's the thing that put me over and made me understand, and maybe this is an aspect you should look at. If you see a woman do this, don't mess around. Just like the young man, that's a very good aspect for a woman to care about you, to put food in your mouth like that. That's a very good sign. This is a good sign too. My wife would pay for whatever we had, but never directly. She would always give me the money. And when she first did that, I was like, what are you doing? You're paying for it. She's like, yes, I'm paying for it, but you're the man. So you have to always look like you're the man. So I don't want to take away from who you are. So I'm going to give you the money so you can pay. Now, that hit me, but it didn't hit me as hard as it does today. And especially sadly, because so many young women would not do that today. So that's a little bit of my story on how I decided and how I ended up with a foreign-born woman. Yeah, my wife is originally from the Dominican Republic. She grew up in the United States most of her life, but she held on to a lot of the Latin culture, and that is what I absolutely had to have. I had to have foreign culture, traditional culture, and she absolutely had it. And again, I had it before my wife, and I, because it was a girlfriend. I want to make this video is just too long already, but I had other girlfriends before my wife that were all of them were international after my girlfriend Roanoke. So, all right, guys, that's the video. I hope this maybe made you think a little bit, made you understand a few things, and help motivate you to get and hold certain women to a certain standard, but understand certain places, that's just the standard. That is just how it is. It's that young lady that was in the video. That's just it. She wasn't doing anything out of the ordinary, and my wife wasn't doing anything out of the ordinary. That's just the way they are. So good luck, guys. I hope this helped you out. Don't forget, I'm Uncle Charles Walhingford, just here to help.